On a Sabbath morning walk out here in Stewart Peninsula subdivision of the Colony, Texas, and it's a picture perfect Sabbath morning. We've already walked 3 miles earlier. We're on our second walk listening to Doug Batchelor. His prophecy meetings. This is the one that he from last night. Had an interesting day yesterday. I was supposed to fly back from I'm in Texas. I got in last night. Don't like to fly on the Sabbath, but sometimes you just got to do what you have to do, because my flight in the morning out of John Wayne, the very first flight, 6:45, was at the airport up at 4, at the airport at 5, and we're all in line on board, ready to board, and all of a sudden everybody starts getting messages, your flight's been canceled. And we look up, sure enough. Well, make a long story short, it was a crew issue. They did their best to save the flight, but they couldn't find a flight attendant. So now everybody's scrambling. The flight was full. Luckily, I'm a platinum American Airlines, and they automatically rebooked me for a later afternoon flight. So I had to quickly rent a car from Avis, which I did. I said, oh, just have to, deal with it, make the best of it. So I drove back to the condo after I got the car, went to the gym and did a great 10-mile cardio. One of the hardest, most strenuous. I think I got my heart rate up to 168. There's a golf course, beautiful. There's a lake beyond it. I don't know if you can see it or not. There were some golfers here earlier. I'm sure they'll be here. Our house is about 3 streets down from here. When I was in California on Thursday night, I was able to participate in our neighborhood Bible study, because when we can't meet at Joyce's house, and I don't want to brag, but it was my idea. I said, let's just do it on Zoom. So now we've had a couple on Zoom, and a great Bible study. It's at Joyce is the neighbor. She lives around the corner here. These are all Sunday keeping good Christians, and they think we're living in the end times too. And I mean, we have some theological differences. They talk about the rapture and things like that, but that's okay. So they're, trusting in the blood of Christ, and that's the bottom line. Listen to unbelievable message from the latest one from Walter Veith, Dr. Walter Veith. He's a Seventh-day Adventist, former atheist, former Catholic, and his co-host Martin. They're from South Africa. What I like about them is they're applying prophecy using today's news, with COVID, with the pandemics, with cancel, with the Pope they all came to Rome past week. Biden went to Rome. Everybody goes to Rome. All the religions of the world, every single one, to sign a climate change document. And if you're a student of prophecy, as I think I am, I read a lot about our interpretation. I find no other interpretation that meets all of the criteria of prophecy, end time, the Sabbath, how important the Sabbath is going to be in the end. The world is coming together on climate and common things. I'm gonna get away from this lawnmower. Everybody waves here, even the guys who do the yard. Came back from California. I go into the Stater Brothers in California and I look, and people just have this angry look on their faces, especially, I hate to say this, especially old people. I think most of them don't believe in God. They know they're going to die pretty soon, and they have no peace. They have no joy. I'm 63, and I'm telling you, I look forward to dying. Not that I don't want to be here, but when I say that, I mean, it ain't the end of the world. That would be a good t-shirt for a Christian. Death isn't the end of the world. I believe in Jesus. It's a beginning. I remember when my brother died, Pastor Carter he was in Australia, but he called and talked over the phone. He talked about my brother Chuck. He said, Chuck's life isn't behind him. He said, Chuck's life is in front of him. It's so true. Eternity. What was behind him was 54 years. What's ahead of him is unending. But you got to believe in Jesus. You got to accept Christ as your Savior. Otherwise, I don't care how good you are. I don't care how kind you are. I don't care how many people like you. That's the religion of Cain. He brought all his good works and he was rejected. Ellen White says he rendered partial obedience. He didn't bring the blood. He didn't bring the sacrifice. My brother Chuck's going to bring the blood of Christ to the judgment. And that's what the Sabbath is for, is to remind us of that, to take a day. Otherwise, you're just going to get lost in the, what do you call it? The rat race. Every day is the same, depressing. That would be so depressing to me if I didn't have the Sabbath day. It'd be the most depressing thing in the world. Our whole week is structured around the Sabbath, just as God intended it to be from Eden, when he made the Sabbath, the seventh day, a holy day. Argue with the Bible, don't argue with me. He sanctified it in Genesis before there was any Jew. It's funny how people spin and twist and go through all these theological gymnastics to try to do away with the largest of the 10 commandments in the moral law that predates the Jews. And so that's why we're out here, just enjoying nature. No TV, no news, no games, none of that. So anyway, I was able to book a flight, or they booked me. I got on a late afternoon flight and got in last night. But I had a good workout yesterday, and I got some good watermelon at Stater Brothers. Watermelon is good for your skin, I read. It's good for your hair. I was reading, it's got collagens. I've been eating tons of watermelon my entire life. My whole life. My mom used to say, talk about it, when I was a kid. And I read the other day it's good for your hair and good for your skin because it has tons of vitamin C and collagen. Yeah, you can eat too much of anything, of course. So that's my Sabbath sermon, Sabbath message. We'll have a good Sabbath day today. We opened it last night. Close it. And we want the Lord to come. That's all we care about. Hope you do too. Carla's way ahead of me, so I gotta catch her. I gotta get on this scooter and scoot. Bye.